All right, in 2002, Microsoft launched Xbox Live.
Yeah. Which is, again, it's something to think about, like, well, of course Xbox Live existed beforehand, or of course everyone's always been online.
There was a time in our lives when Xbox Live did not exist.
It did not exist, no.
Well, we just didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's the real issue.
No, but there was a time where it didn't launch alongside Xbox. I mean,
it came a year after the Xbox.
Yeah, and Xbox Live, along with Halo 2, Halo 2 coming out a year or two after, introduced what modern online gaming is. And a lot of the features that modern online gaming has that we sort of just take for granted, of matchmaking and lobbies and chat and being able to party up. And it was a risky move on Microsoft's part because the Dreamcast had tried to be an online system and failed.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, it was to the market a little bit early and it just had dial-up and that wasn't really working. And then PS2 did have an online adapter and you could play SOCOM on it, but I don't think nothing was to the level.
Well, that's the thing. They had an adapter. The Xbox had a broadband adapter built into it.
Yeah, it was built in. That was one of the reasons why it was so big.
Yeah.
That's
an example of real forward thinking from Microsoft.
Yeah, absolutely. And it showed where as Xbox Live evolved and became not only an auxiliary component of gaming, but as when you booted up a 360, this was your sort of online destination.
Yeah, I mean it's a necessary component of just owning a console.
Yeah,
not necessarily the paid version, but still it's something that's as the years went on, you had to have it immediately. You couldn't get away from it.
For the first time, at least on consoles, you had a friends list. You had one identity across all games that you played. You could voice chat with your friends.
That was the tough thing of a lot of us were sort of younger. We made some dumb choices with our names.
Gamer tags.
Yeah, shouldn't have written down McBiggity that long ago. I didn't think I'd ever have to say it on a camera.
But now you do. Almost every day.
Almost every day. But it was, there were a lot of games for the original Xbox that supported it, and sports games and shooters. But it was Halo 2 that really was the game where it was this is something that...
This is life now. This is what everything's going to be for the next forever.
Yeah, and we mentioned the year Halo 2 came out in 2004, which we somehow already filmed because I don't know how anything works. We mentioned how it was, when Halo 2 came out, it was the number one most played game on Xbox Live for 2 years until Gears of War came out on a whole different platform.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think how quickly Microsoft was able to get it right with Xbox Live, whereas you look at a company like Nintendo and you're still not doing online right.
Yeah.
How is this possible?
Don't even.
Someday.
How do I have to give you a weird code to enter to play my Mario Maker level?
I don't know. Microsoft made a big gamble they bet on the future. They bet on broadband. Built it into the console, launched Xbox Live, and that worked out real well for them.
Yeah.
But then look at Xbox One. They again tried to bet on the future, and nope,
that
totally did not go.
Not only did they have to do a 180, but it was eventually disconnect thing. No one wants their Xbox looking at them and doing weird things.
Oh, maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but today you turn on your Xbox One, your PS4, very similar online environments. You can see what your friends are playing. There's game stores online where you can buy new games, and that's all because of Xbox Live. Xbox Live
and the 360. One of the things that defined it were the awesome downloadable Summer of Arcade games. That stuff like Meat Boy and Braid and Limbo and Shadow Complex and these games that were it was the rise of the indie, which doesn't really have to be even a word anymore because now it's just games are games. But it's you can make a smaller game on a smaller budget and not have to sell a bajillion copies because you're skirting around publishers or skirting around having to physically produce the games. And Xbox Live was sort of the gateway of that happening in the home and the console space.